people, we have some bad news. The Supreme Court has cleared the U.S. government to sell 69,000 Bitcoins, $4.4 billion. And that's probably going to happen within the next couple of months. They were being held up by a lawsuit that they wanted the Supreme Court to review because they lost. The company that was suing the U.S. government lost in appeals court, but the Supreme Court has refused to listen to it, which means the U.S. government's going to sell that $4.4 billion. Very not good for crypto because that means more dumpage in the coming months. So here it is. The Supreme Court clears path for U.S. to sell $4.4 billion worth of Silk Road Bitcoin. The U.S. still has a lot of Silk Road Bitcoin. And this is one of the largest auctions in the crypto industry history. Now, the cherry, the kind of positive takeaway from this is, if there is a positive takeaway, and I do believe there is, the positive takeaway from this is they're not going to sell it on spot like the German government did. They're going to auction it. And it says here they're actually going to auction it. So the Supreme Court declined to hear an appeal regarding the ownership of 69,370 Bitcoin seized from infamous Silk Road Marketplace. The decision paves the way for U.S. government to move forward selling the $4.4 billion worth of Bitcoin, one of the biggest auctions in history, onto the market. The decision effectively upholds a 2022 ruling by U.S. District Court for the Northern District of California. So if they had an appeal, we would have actually gotten an even bigger dump in 2022, and so maybe some people would have gotten the 9K or 12K. It was bought by Battleborn Investments, and they argued the company had acquired rights to Bitcoin through the bankruptcy estate connected with the Silk Road. So obviously, I think they own part of Silk Road, and they want to say they own part of this stash of Bitcoin, but the courts did not agree with them. And of course, since the Supreme Court refused to hear the appeal, the government is now free to auction off the Bitcoin and tank the prices. They won't obviously sell it all at once, and the people that buy the Bitcoin from the auction may not sell it on the open market. This will actually be handled with U.S. Marshals. They're going to handle the liquidation. While several formalities remain before the sale can proceed, this will likely result in one of the biggest sales of seized Bitcoin in history. The U.S. government has already moved significant portions of seized Silk Road Bitcoin in recent months, likely in preparation for the sale. It is also possible that Coinbase Prime, which is a custody agreement with the U.S. Marshals Service, will be holding the assets on the government's behalf during this period. So if you see big movements of Bitcoin from Coinbase custody, this is why you don't really need to ask about it. This arises as the handling of seized Bitcoin has become a point of debate in the 2024 election. In July, former President Donald Trump, speaking at Bitcoin 2024 conference in Nashville, vowed to create a strategic Bitcoin stockpile and retain all government-seized Bitcoin if he is re-elected. So, more or less, not very good news for the Bitcoin market. We're going to have 69,000 Bitcoin come onto the open market. That's a lot of selling pressure. It won't be straight spot, and there's no saying that the people that buy it off the auctions at probably a lower price than what the market price is will actually immediately sell it. But it does worry me some because there's no guarantee that they're really going to hold it either. So yeah, be aware of that. I think it's probably going to start selling in the next couple of months. May hinder the bull run a little bit, but I still think it's mainly the Middle Eastern tensions that are holding it up right now. So that's the news for today. Let me know what you think. Like and subscribe, hit that bell notifications button. Thank you and have a nice day.